presenting the results from EV-103 Cohort K. This is a randomized phase 2 cohort of a larger study looking at different combinations of agents with Enfortumab vedotin. This study randomized patients 1-to-1 to EV monotherapy or EV plus pembrolizumab. The primary endpoint of the study was objective response rate, with secondary endpoints of PFS, OS, duration of response, and toxicity. The study was designed as a non-comparative phase 2 trial, not comparing the two regimens, but really to explore the activity of the combination as well as the single agent to understand the contribution of components of pembrolizumab and Enfortumab in the treatment of these advanced first-line cisplatin-ineligible patient population. The treatment for these patients generally consists of gemcitabine and carboplatin chemotherapy, often followed by maintenance of vedotin or immune checkpoint inhibition with single-agent drug. But not every patient qualifies for immunotherapy with gemcitabine and carboplatin as maintenance, and most patients don't qualify for single-agent checkpoint inhibitors. And so we need better first-line treatment for these patients, and that's the basis of the trial. The primary endpoint was objective response rate and was shown to be 64.5% in patients treated with Enfortumab and pembrolizumab. The complete response rate was 10%. The median number of treatment cycles was 11. Enfortumab monotherapy, the response rate was 45% with 4% complete response rate. The median number of cycles was 8. The responses were rapid, particularly in the EV pembro arm, and the median duration of response has not yet been reached for EV pembro, and for EV monotherapy it was 13 months. The progression-free survival and overall survival remain immature but look promising. We hope to see those data evolve over time. The time to event endpoint for overall survival with EV was just over 22 months. EV monotherapy was 21 months. But when you look at the Kaplan-Meier curves, you realize that those events are driven by just a few events at the tail end of the curve because the median follow-up is only 14.8 months at this time. And so we expect that these numbers will change in terms of duration of response. Toxicity with EV monotherapy was mostly as expected, with skin reactions, fatigue, alopecia. For EV pembro combination therapy, skin reactions were more frequent. That's an overlapping toxicity of Enfortumab and pembrolizumab. There was a low rate of pneumonitis seen, which might be a toxicity common to both drugs, although still a relatively low rate. But otherwise, there weren't any new treatment-emergent adverse events from the combination that you wouldn't expect to see from either drug by itself. So in summary, this is a highly active combination with a potential to change how we treat first-line urothelial cancer. And I'm very excited to see where this goes over the next several years. So EV-302 is the confirmatory randomized phase 3 trial that's looking at EV pembro or chemotherapy in a broader population of first-line bladder patients, people who have, regardless of cisplatin eligibility, are eligible for the trial. And so if you're cisplatin eligible, you would get gemcitabine cisplatin or EV pembro. If you're cisplatin ineligible, you get gemcitabine carboplatin or EV pembro. And that study will hopefully give us the definitive answer of whether or not EV pembro combination therapy has substantial clinical benefit in patients in the first-line setting. And to confirm the results, the combination may lead to an accelerated approval in the US, but prior to the release of that data. There are also 2 muscle-invasive studies, one in cisplatin-eligible patients and the other in cisplatin-ineligible patients. And so it may move up even further in the course of the disease.